Trees, an indispensable part of the earth and its ecosystem. The lifeblood of forests, their arms stretch up and pierce the firmament above our heads. Without these springs of life, existence would be naught but a shadow of itself. Okay, enough with the profundities. Trees. In Pokémon, why do they all look the same? Since the start of the series up until, well, now still, trees look pretty much the same all across whatever game you're talking about. And yes, if you think about this pragmatically, it's because using the same sprites over and over saves game space and keeps the game in its set style. But let's think of an alternate explanation, because actually, there's quite an interesting alternate explanation for all of these trees being identical. Well, I guess it's an explanation up until Generation 5, and these... I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, from generations 1 through 4, each Pokemon region was based on a different area of Japan, and it's Japan's history that we need to look at more closely to find our answer. During the Edo period of Japan, after Tokugawa Ieyasu unified the country in 1603, the country remained very isolated and closed off from trade. This was solidified by several policies from 1633 to 1639, which can be neatly summed up with the scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
This period of history was known as Sakoku, closed country. Anyways, during this period the Japanese had to be self-sufficient and so devised a way to farm the land and remain in harmony with the forests at the same time so as to preserve them. Satoyama. This method of farming is one that is in harmony with the world around it, and it remained this way for hundreds of years because the people of Japan benefited greatly from maintaining the large amounts of forest next to them. And because of this, even today, forests cover 2/3 of Japan's total land area, something very, very strange for a highly developed country. Just looking at my own country's landscape, we can see that there is very little forest left, as most of it was cut down to make way for farmland, and what wasn't cut down was used up during the Industrial Revolution. And well, unfortunately, Japan ended up going a little like this way as well. The Satoyama life began to fade away around 1853 when Japan was forced to open up to outside trade after the Americans came knocking with Commodore Matthew Perry. This forcibly ended the period of isolation that Japan had been under for centuries and brought about a huge change in the country. Japan began to adopt Western technology and ideas, rapidly developing its economy and its society. And as Japan's need for raw materials grew greater, so did its imperial ambitions. By the end of the Second World War, Japan's forests were not in a good position. Much of it had been cut down for manufacturing and to feed the war machine. What was left behind from that was burnt during the periods of intense firebombing before the end of the war, and afterwards, what was left from that was cleared to make way for more farmland to feed Japan's growing population and to be used as construction materials. It was at this point that the Japanese government decided to step in and take action, realizing the importance of taking care of the forest and nature, as being in harmony with nature is one of the key ideas within Shintoism. The government chose to plant en masse trees that would help regrow the economy. The 2 trees they selected for this were Sugi, the Japanese cedar, which happens to be Japan's national tree, and the Hinoki, the Japanese cypress. The cedar was chosen due to its quick growing time and due to the fact that it grows pretty straight and upright, while the cypress was chosen due to its use as a high-quality building material within temples and shrines. However, the way these trees had been planted was a little problematic for the ecosystem. In 1850, 44% of the Japanese forest consisted of broadleaf trees. By 1985, that had dropped to 21% as they were replaced by coniferous trees, mainly cypress and cedar. Presently, most of the trees in Japan are not the original ones. They have been planted there by humans at some point or another in time. These monocultures of cedar and cypress have prevented light from reaching the forest floor, as well as create crowded, tangled sections of forest that are impossible to get through and prevent animals from crossing through it. Deer in Japan thrive in these dense woodlands, but their predators? Not so much. So, how does this link to Pokémon? Well, looking at the types of forest we come across in the games, it's clear that they take after their source country. Areas that are surrounded by thick, impenetrable barriers of trees, which are all of the same kind, and pretty much all of them are coniferous in appearance, like the cedar and cypress trees, from Kanto to Sinnoh. And speaking of Sinnoh, Platinum's version of Eterna Forest is a typical example of a thick monoculture Japanese forest, with its maze-like appearance and low amounts of light reaching the forest floor. And this is the same for all of the forests in Pokémon, from Viridian to Eterna to the rest of them. Even cases can be made for Unova and Galar, whose real-life counterparts the US and the UK have both had similar issues with forestry. In the UK, for example, where I'm from in Scotland, most of the native forest has been replaced with conifers, which are usually cut down all at once, hill by the logging industry. Today, though, in Japan, steps are being taken to selectively cut down trees to strengthen the forest and its ecosystem, and prevent overcrowding and promote biodiversity. And while Pokémon has excelled in managing to portray the nature of Japanese forests within its games, it's important to remember how important it is to maintain a healthy ecosystem which is sustainable for both human and non-human alike. This is why I decided to make this video in support of Team Trees, an initiative set up and supported by various YouTubers with the goal of planting 20 million trees before the start of the new year. Now, although it's the new year and the deadline has passed, I'm pleased to say that they have reached their goal of planting 20 million trees. And having done my part, even though it's the new year, I thought I would once more bring it to your attention because you can still donate and help plant even more trees. And I'm sure that no matter where your opinion lies in regards to topics such as climate change, we can all agree that we can never have too many trees, and a healthy, happy biosphere makes for healthy, happy humans. There's a link down in the description for you to follow if you want to donate, and there's also some links to further reading and watching if you want to learn more about the forestry situation in Japan. Anyways, I'm sorry that I uploaded this video late. It was supposed to be uploaded last year, but I'm going to do my best to try and upload as much high quality content as I can this year. So, see you in the next video.